Okay, guys, welcome back. So I've been trying to make this video, and it's becoming heavier and heavier every attempt I do it. And Loki's like, oh, Jesus, it's getting grim. Wanted to talk to you about the problems of taking the lore too literally. I know at times, like when I'm talking to you guys, I talk about Odin hanging on the royal tree and everything else, but that is a mythic story. It can be true in a spiritual sense, but we don't have to literally believe that Odin truly, literally did this. For example, you can see the runes as a mystic, a mystic set of, symbols that you can use to divine the future, but you can also do that with coffee grinds, tea leaves, Ouija boards, absolutely anything, birds flying, anything else, whatever you do in your practice. But they're also at the same time a mundane alphabet. Jackson Crawford had made a observation that he could prove they weren't magic because it would be like using the Roman alphabet for magic. We do. We do. If he had actually practiced witchcraft for a while, he'd be like, "Oh my God, that abracadabra spell!" It's like you write abracadabra and then you keep like writing it down and horse feathers and hooey. It's supposed to do something. I do all of my spellcasting in English because I don't know Latin or Ancient Norse. And I got, yes, I write all my spells in English. And you know what? They work just fine. You can use English. You could use the individual letters for something. If you, all you would have to do is take the letters of the Roman alphabet, assign them a magical meaning and see if it works, or start working with them and do like one day do A, keep doing A and do it in meditation and see if anything comes up. If it works for you, great, new magical system, good on you. So I got, yes. So one of the problems of taking stuff too literally, is that we really don't have anything for our gods. We have little dibs and dabs here, but if you go to Grimfrost, for example, our stories were malleable. They were changed all the time. It's why one of the things about an oral history, there are birds involved. I can get giggles and tears back here. I'm terror. Um, is that they could change the stories to suit the time. So we don't know what these stories originally were. We have no idea. It's kind of like how you see people that want to have a Germanic flavor of heathenry come over to Nordic history because that's where all the bulk of the history is. Germanic and English people have even less left about the gods so far as we know today. Something could be found tomorrow and this video could be outdated, but so far as we know, Norse is the best and most complete history we have, which, as Crawford once said, is like having two little slivers left out of an entire ship. We just don't know. I'm kidding. Yes, finally, there could be tons and tons and tons of stories that we lost that the gods wish we knew. Speaking of which, though, this is also where we watch out for UPG. We talk in UPG on a daily basis on this channel. It's nothing wrong so long as people know it's UPG. Like, if I told you a story about Loki did this, you guys would know it's UPG, not something that's in the lore somewhere. Today somebody had asked about who I was talking about I didn't like. There's a certain heathen writer I don't like, as you guys could see on yesterday's video, which is today's video, but is going to be. This is a problem with filming early. I'm filming today, you're seeing it tomorrow. I was asked today, so it will be yesterday's video, I think. But it was Galena. I don't like her, and I'm not secret about not liking her. She's done too many problematic things in the past. I had, not realizing I had heathenry books since at least the 80s, but I didn't realize it was heathenry because they just called it Norse paganism or Norse magic or something. And she was the first introduction I got when I came back in full time. And her book on Loki was kind of problematic. She's kind of the one, and this was when she was still halfway rational, that I knew of. And then I heard about practices like hanging herself on meat hooks. That is absolutely nowhere in the lore. Please do not hurt yourself. Do not do anything to hurt yourself ever. If you think that a god is telling you to hurt yourself, please, please, please get therapy. I've done it. It's wonderful. It's awesome. It helps. No guy's going to tell you to hurt yourself, my dears. So I got, yes. So she does practices like that. She self-harms. She brings her desires into working with the gods, which You can have that private off on the side, and there's nothing wrong with falling in love and having a relationship with a deity in my eyes, but that's not a requirement. And if you're into something more, say, taboo to the mainstream, that's definitely not something you should be putting out there as a requirement. Odin doesn't need you to join a dungeon to be polite. And I got, yes, if you want to, that's your get out, but that has absolutely zero to do with how to heathen or work with the old man. And she said horrible things, about Loki and Sagan, and then she, took down her whole website and she hid behind a Patreon paywall. She said that he harmed Sagan as a child, even though in her book originally she had said he wasn't capable of it. Sagan had revealed this to her. And the goddesses have revealed to her all the time the goddesses were attacked by the old man. And, I'm like, I don't know. I know she's had trauma in her past, and it feels like it keeps replaying out with her revelations of the gods. And I'm sorry for her that she went through that. I am. But a lot of us have had tough, crappy past, and we don't take it out on the gods. And unfortunately, I've had problems, with women coming up to me. There was a woman that used to donate a lot of money on the channel. Well, $5 here and there, but hey, it was nice. And she claimed Odin did this to her because she went literalist on the story of Odin and Reinder. And I said, well, I have a different version of that. It's only in one book, but I have a different version of the story of Reinder. I wish I knew where they got it because it's in an anthology, it's a book, it's an encyclopedia of the gods. And in that version of the story, Odin goes to court Reinder because she's supposed to have his baby that's going to avenge his son. I don't know why he can't do it, but I'm not a Norse lawyer. Anyways, in this version of the story, he goes to court her. He appears to her twice as a man. I think first as a dwarf and then second as a man. Third time he appears, he's a woman. In this version, he says that she's unwell. He orders herbs. He makes a hot bath. He sticks her feet in the hot bath. This magically thaws her heart because her heart's just icy cold. It's why she was refusing him as, her love interest. And, they fall in love, and out of that love is born the child. And the thing is, it wouldn't even make sense for Odin to have to do anything violently because we literally have it in the lore that he knows magic to use on women that they can't resist, which is a bit scary from a woman's point of view. But he knows a charm that he can sing to a woman that it would take away all of her free will, which is problematic in this day and age, but he knows it. He wouldn't have to resort to violence. He could have just sang a beautiful love song to her or whatever this charm is, and she would have been putty in his hands. He definitely has the wolfish charm, so, but so there's at least two versions of that story. I wish I knew where she got where those people got that version. If you've heard that about the hot water bath and the feet, please tell me. I'm thinking it sounds like it came from another lore source, but I don't know where. But guys, that's kind of the problem of taking our stories too literally. I've never known Odin to be dangerous towards me. Can he lose his temper and yell? Can he shake Gungnir around and give emphatic pokes with it? Yes, but he's not dangerous. You can leave your women and children with him. He's fine. Loki's not a dangerous monster that has to be kept X amount of yards or miles or planets away from people under the age of consent. It's really problematic when you start, both taking the lore too literally and, adding in your own flavor of UPG. We didn't even get a chance to touch on how she's also a god slave, and that's just wrong, guys. You're freeborn. Rejoice. Especially in this country, I'm like, what is it with white women? Like, what are you like trying to make up for feeling, guilt over what this country did for centuries? There's better ways to do that than to enthrall yourself. And she also practices a form of heathenry that has literal thralls in the here and now, that if you go into practice that, you will become a thrall. Can I just say white people are crazy because white people are crazy? I got yes, finally. That's crazy, cuckoo, bonkers, nuts, guys. You're not a thrall, okay? You don't owe anyone anything. If someone says that to join their group, you must work on their house or give them a lot of money, walk away. Walk away. It's not, there's a huge difference between supporting, say, a creator on YouTube, hint, hint, and, coffee and Patreon and membership links below. There's a huge difference between supporting somebody whose work you enjoy and having someone tell you they have a special connection to the gods, therefore you must become their literal thrall upon this earth and do home repairs and give them all this money and to take them places and do all this other stuff. That's not healthy and that's not right. So I can imagine the hate I'm going to get for this, but I don't really care. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.